45% of single disciples feel left out and underserved.
And among those, aged 30 to 40 followers of Jesus, 40% are unmarried, and they are the most underserved singles within the church community. Hey you guys, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Luna.
And welcome to Awaken Love, learning to appreciate the gift of singleness.
Where we straight talk and no sweetener except for my coffee.
She's obsessed with coffee.
Yes.
We wanted to create an open and safe space for single disciples like ourselves to have open, honest, brutal discussions. This came to us when our pastor, we attend Compassion in Savannah. Our pastor Cam was preaching at the church saying that at Compassion, his goal, I'm quoting him, I might be wrong, his goal is to educate and equip disciples to go out and help advance the kingdom, not just churchgoers. So my sister and I thought about that, and we prayed about that. We've been praying about it for about 3 months, and then we eventually came back together to talk about what we heard, what message we might have got. And for us, we felt like creating Awaken Love, because we feel like singles are the most underserved in the church.
Yeah.
But I do believe that we are really active within the church. And so, because we love Jesus and we love our church community, our family, and we are actively a part of our community, we thought that this is a way that we can help advance the kingdom by making space for us single disciples to speak and talk about things that are not just marriage-based. Because some of us are going to be single disciples our entire life. And just because you love something doesn't mean you can't disagree with some things. And we feel like this is a space within our church community that's missing, because most of the single classes are geared towards preparing you for marriage. But some of us are not going to be called to marriage. So this is how this pressed in our heart. And then we prayed some more about it, and we felt like Jesus was telling us to start on a social media platform. Because we believe that if Jesus was still here walking around earth, he would use social media. He'd be a social media user. He would use the platform to reach out to people and to plant seeds and to bring people home. So that's what we want to do, and that's where Awaken Love, Learn to Appreciate the Gift of Singleness came from.
Singleness is a good thing. Jesus taught us that singleness is a gift from God. So why not look at it as it's a wonderful opportunity to solely focus on Him? So why is it that churches now are particularly marriage-driven?
It's not, I was raised in the church, you guys. My sister she's a new single disciple after, she came into our family. But it's not churches now. It's been that way for a long time. A lot of the churches are marriage-driven, family-oriented, and it's not a new thing. That's the surrounding of the church for a long time. We learned that from Paul. But this is actually even then, it was kind of marriage-driven. Being a person that grew up in the church, I've had a lot of experiences with that. I can remember being in a church in Orlando, and the preacher was preaching, and he said, "Okay, singles, don't worry, we're going to include you." And so he started talking, and it was supposed to be a marriage and singles discussion. He started talking on top of marriage first, went on 30 minutes into it, nothing for singles, 45 minutes into it, nothing for singles, and so on and so on. In the last 10 minutes, he said, "Oh, I haven't forgot about you singles. Just remember, don't worry, you're just in the waiting period. You're just in the season of time." It blew my mind. Marriage is a beautiful thing, and I always wanted to be married. I still want to be married. I just don't know that's my calling anymore, particularly because, I don't look it, but I'm 40, so. But the fact that whenever I hear sermons like that, they always say this waiting period and it's just a season. And I don't feel like I'm in a waiting period. I don't feel like it's just a season. I feel like I'm single because that's my calling right now. And that could be my calling until the good Lord brings me home. Or my calling can change, and my calling can become called to be someone's wife, someone's helper,
Mom.
Someone's mom. That may be my calling.
There's plenty of single moms that are called to be moms but not married. That's another topic for another day.
And what we mean by that, we mean by there are aunts who have to raise their niece and nephews. That's us. We have our nephew living with us now. We have to raise him. So we mom him, we mother him. That's what we mean by that. That's been my experience a lot of times. And it hurts. You feel left out and isolated. I feel like when you love something so much, you don't leave it. You help it get better. Just like how the past few years, we've changed how we worship, the type of music that we worship. We have lights and drums, and it's loud, proud, and just out there. And it's out there. A lot of our older generation who are called to advance the kingdom, they prayed about that, and they said, you know what? We need more youth. We need to move forward to what's going on in the world now. And they made space for us to be able to worship and celebrate that way. And I think now, what I believe my calling is to help advance the kingdom for singles who are going to be single probably the rest of their life. And so we need a space now to grow, to help move the church forward. I have a question for you. Being a new single disciple,
Okay.
the first time you went to any events, what did you feel that immediately? Because I'm wondering if it's just a long-term Christian who kind of gets that, or if new Christians also kind of feel that way. Have you ever been faced with that, like in a study or a group or something?